So do you still have a Leslie mic under the stage? Or
Yeah,
anything?
I
You
have
still
a little road case ISO booth,
Right.
and the Leslie, it's quite a bit bigger than the Leslie because a
Right.
lot of times people they have a case around the Leslie and they mic it, but it sounds choked.
Yeah.
You need air around the Leslie to get the proper Doppler effect.
Yeah.
So I have a case that's it's almost twice the size of the Leslie, and the Leslie sits in the middle,
Inside,
so
yeah.
so that it's the sound can move around inside the case, and people can also I can crank it, and people can stand next to it and have a conversation. 'Cause
Right.
that's
I've
another problem.
actually seen your rig, and maybe you have a new one now, but
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
need a new one. That
your
one's got a
other-
lot of miles on it. The one you saw, I'm still
You
using.
still
that.
have
Yeah.
it, and it probably has. Is it stereo mic?
Absolutely, yeah. I have two 57s on the high end and two 421s on the bottom
There
end.
you go. That's
and,
the old.
and they're mounted in the case, so they don't
Yes.
move, and they
Yeah.
come out. So you don't have to open the case unless something goes wrong.
Right.
You plug the mics in on the outside. The Leslie cable plugs in on the outside of the case.
Yeah.
And then the whole case just wheels on the truck and wheels off the truck, and it's always
such
ready
a
to go.
classic miking those particular microphones.
Yeah, it
seemed
works.
for so many
Yeah.
years. When I worked with Boston, they had Leslies all over the place, but they had to have a 57 and 421 stereo mic, 4 of them.
I didn't know that, but I
And,
guess we arrived at the same
it was
conclusion.
The exact
Yeah.
same thing you were doing, and
Yeah.
he tried everything in the world out. That particular guy, Tom Schultz, did.
Yeah.
So you must be doing you got it.
I guess, yeah. No, it just works. And I have one of the newer Leslies. They're making them again now, which is pretty cool.
So do they have no noise in them like the old ones? Half the character was, and I guess we'd have to say if you're not familiar with a Leslie sound, you really need to get familiar and understand. This is a piece of gear that has existed for so many years, came out of churches and. Probably, yeah, and there's nothing like it. And if there's new stuff out that
they're making Leslies now again. They're the same as the old ones. They're just new.
But they probably aren't as temperamental, right?
They're a little more reliable, and but they actually sound really
Still
really
have
good.
that growl.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the newer organs like the XK3, the Hammond, which is portable, you have overdrive control on it. It actually has a tube in it, and you have a lot more control over those types of things than you used to in the past.
Still get pretty dirty.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting when we got into talking about that gear. Some of that gear for you with. You've been touring with Billy Joel for 18 years?
Yeah, since 1993.
So that's a long, great run with any artist for sure. And your rig's changed over the years, but some of the same things you still have to maintain because of the sounds you're saying. And
well, yeah, I mean,
cool.
Billy's hasn't been recording new albums, so my job is to replicate the old material in an authentic way, but in a way that's reliable using today's and sonically, great using today's standards.